Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made these really cute drink koozies for my best friend Kelsey's bachelorette trip in Fort Lauderdale. We did an Airbnb and her sister, who was her maid of honor, thought it was would be like a really cute idea to like have some customized koozies by the pool with some of our drinks and stuff. So this was my first time doing like a Cricut iron-on project, so I wanted to take you guys along. I got my Cricut probably about like 7 months ago or so, and I've done only a few things with the Cricut. I've done my bridesmaid boxes where I made like little decals of everyone's names, and I like peeled that off and put them on their boxes. And I've done like a few other little wedding projects so far. But this was my first iron-on project, and I'm really excited that I was able to figure it out, and hopefully be able to do some more like iron-on things in the future for like my own bachelorette and stuff like that. I definitely had I hit a little bit of a few bumps in the road, just figuring out like what paper to use and stuff like that. There definitely was like a certain type of paper that was a little bit more friendly for the type of Cricut that I have. There's all these like different versions of the Cricut. So it definitely took a little bit of a trial and error with ordering different papers and stuff to figure that out. So I will show you that in the video. But for the most part, it like peeled off and everything like weeded out better than I thought. Ironing it on, I thought it was going to be like really hard to peel off because like the lettering that I used was like pretty thin, and it actually really wasn't that bad like once I figured out like what paper to use and what I was doing and how to set the settings on the Cricut. So come along with me. I'm going to start with like what I put into the Cricut design space in the first place, and then I will show you how I actually like transferred everything onto the koozies. This is the design here in the design space. So Kelsey's sister had sent me this design, like just through email, and I went and I like saved the image and uploaded it into the designing space. You want to make sure when you upload the image, you want to make sure that you hit that to do a transparent background, so that like when you're ironing it on, all of like there's no like white background and everything is completely like transparent and see-through. Also over here, what you do here is you hit weld. Now there's like a couple of different ways you can do this, but what I did was to make this like a little bit thicker was like I copy and pasted a few of them, kind of placed them over each other, and then when you click on all of them at once, you can go down here and you could hit like combine, or you could hit weld, and that will make them like all basically attached to each other. And basically it just makes like the outline a little bit thicker, so it's easier for you to peel off the paper. And then you want to go ahead and hit make. Over here, you want to make sure that you're setting the width and the height properly, like just depending on like whatever your project is. So what I did was I looked at the dimensions of the koozies, and I kind of looked at then like how big I wanted the design to be on the koozies, and made sure to do that, because then when you go and hit make, you can change how many are going to be on the paper and like how many you want to do, and it'll duplicate them for you, or multiply however much you want to do, but you're not gonna be able to like change the size. You have to change the actual size of the design here before you move on to make. And then when I hit me, I usually always use a mat. And I'm not like a Cricut pro by any means. I've used the Cricut for like 3 things. I've used it for my bridesmaid boxes for my wedding. And then I'm hoping to use it more when my wedding gets a little bit closer, just to like DIY some stuff. But I'm going to actually hit without mat this time, because I got the smart version and you don't need the mat for the smart version. But this is the first time I haven't used the mat. And I'm going to turn my Cricut on, and I'm going to hit this button to open it up. I have the Cricut Explore 3, if anyone's curious. So you can only use like the smart version with certain things. So, or like a certain Cricut. So I think it's my version and up that you could use the smart version, and smart just means you don't have to use a mat for it. Okay, so I'm cutting about 15 of them, and I want to mirror them since it's an iron-on project. And then I set my base material to the Smart Iron-On Matless Heat Transfer, and I put the pressure as more, because the issue I was having over the weekend was it wasn't cutting through both parts of the paper.
So I'm gonna give this a go and see what happens. So now it's measuring the length of the paper. It also says for iron-on to do it shiny side down. Okay, so it seemed to have measured everything correctly, and now it's doing the cut for me. Again, I did so much research. I really hope this works, because I then might need to go and get more paper if it doesn't work. I probably should have tested it on just one of them, but I didn't want to cut a hole out of this one because then I didn't know if it would read properly. If anyone's like a Cricut expert watching this, you're probably like laughing at me and you're like, it does, like, what are you saying? But I don't know, I just like went for it. The paper was like $5 on Amazon, and if I have to get more and keep trialing and erroring, I will, because I would do anything for Kels. So, and I also want to like figure out how to do it nonetheless. So it's only at 5%, so I will check back in with you guys when it is done cutting. Okay, so yay, it worked. So my issue when I tried to do this the other day is that the white, when I went to go pull the white and the clear apart, the white wasn't staying on, but it is now, which is what we want for when we go ahead and iron the design on. So I'm gonna finish using my tool to weed this out, and I think it's like gonna be the perfect size for the koozie. Thank goodness. Okay, so after it peels off, you have to like take your weeder and like get the little individual pieces of like the bubble letters. So then after you just flip it over, you iron it on and you just peel it off from the bottom really, really slowly. So here we go. Okay, here they are. They made it.